Assalamualaikum and greetings. My name is Alif Kamil Ain bin Haizat, metric number 2519025 from the section 4. Today, I'm going to talk about the scriptural basis and theoretical roots of the legal maxim Al-Darar Yuzal. In Islamic jurisprudence, legal rulings are not only derived from individual texts, but are also guided by overarching principles known as legal maxims, or qawaid fiqh. One of the most important among these is the maxim al-darar yuzal, which means harm must be removed. In this presentation, I will focus on the scriptural basis and theoretical roots of this maxim. Specifically, I will explain how Muslim jurists establish its legitimacy through the Quran, the Sunnah, and juristic reasoning, and how a general legal rule was derived from specific textual cases. The primary textual foundation of Al-Darar Yuzal comes from a well-known prophetic hadith. There shall be no harming, no reciprocating harm. LaDarar Wa La Dirar. This hadith is widely accepted by jurists and frequently cited in works of Islamic legal theory and legal maxims. Importantly, scholars did not treat this hadith as limited to a single event or dispute. Instead, they understood its wording to be general and normative, establishing a broad prohibition against harm in all forms. What is especially significant is the structure of the hadith itself. It prohibits both initiating harm and responding to harm with harm. This dual prohibition prevents injustice from being justified through retaliation or personal interest. Modern scholars such as Muhammad Hashim Kamali explains that this hadith functions as a foundational legal principle, not merely a moral teaching. It authorizes legal intervention whenever harm threatens individual or society, making it suitable as the basis for a universal legal maxim. In addition to the Sunnah, the Quran strongly supports the principle of harm prevention, although it does so through specific legal rulings rather than abstract principles. One clear example appears in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah states, "No mother shall be harmed because of her child, no father because of his child." Quran verse 223. This verse addresses family law, specifically breastfeeding and parental responsibilities. However, jurists observe that the verse establishes a broader rule. Legal right must not be exercised in a way that causes unjust harm. Another important example appears in the law of inheritance. The Quran instructs that bequests must be carried out without causing harm, preventing individuals from manipulating wills to deprive rightful heirs. Rather than viewing this verse in isolation, jurists employ a method known as inductive reasoning or istiqra. By examining multiple rulings across different areas of law that identify as a consistent legislative pattern, the Sharia repeatedly seeks to prevent harm and injustice. From this pattern, scholars formulated the general maxim al-darar yuzal, transforming specific Quranic commands into a comprehensive legal principle. To apply the principle of harm removal effectively, jurists developed several subsidiary maxims that clarify how harm should be addressed in practice. The first is, harm is not removed by similar harm. This rule prevents individuals from justifying retaliation or revenge under the claim of eliminating harm. Scholars emphasize that allowing harm to be removed through equivalent harm will undermine justice and lead to continuous conflict. The second sub-maxim states, a specific harm may be tolerated to ward off a general harm. This principle is particularly important in matters of public interest. For example, temporary restriction or regulations may cause inconveniences to individuals, but they are justified if they prevent greater harm to society as a whole. Another related rule holds that averting harm takes precedence over bringing about benefits. This establishes a clear hierarchy of values in Islamic law. Jurists argue that benefits cannot be meaningfully achieved if serious harm is allowed to persist. Therefore, preventing damage takes priority over pursuing potential advantages. Together, these sub-maxims demonstrate that al-darar yuzal is not a vague moral idea, but a structured and operational legal doctrine. In modern Islamic legal discourse, al-darar yuzal continues to play a vital role. Scholars and legal institutions apply it to contemporary issues such as medical ethics, public health policies, environmental protection, and emergency governance. Academic studies show that the maxim is frequently used to balance competing harms, especially in complex situations where no option is entirely free from negative consequences. Institutions like Dar al-Ifta officially recognize al-darar yuzal as one of the core legal maxims derived directly from the Quran and Sunnah, reinforcing its legitimacy in both classical and modern contexts. To conclude, the legal maxim al-darar yuzal is firmly rooted in Islamic revelation and juristic methodology. It is grounded in a general prophetic prohibition of harm, reinforced by multiple Quranic rulings and systemized through scholarly reasoning. Rather than being a later juristic invention, this maxim reflects the Sharia fundamentals commitment to justice, mercy, and protection of human welfare. Its enduring relevance confirms its status as a foundational principle within Islamic jurisprudence. That is all from me. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, all praises to Allah, all praise